right. Hello and welcome. My name is Taylor Shelton Davis, and I'm a licensed professional counselor in the state of Georgia. And today, what I want to practice is a breathing technique that I use with a lot of my clients, and I call it rage breathing. This was actually taught to me by a mentor of mine, and I've used it so much with my clients that I've decided that I'm just going to go ahead and make a video recording of it so that you can do it on your own, because it is something that I think is really helpful to do as often as we need it. So the premise of this breath is really for those of us who feel like we have a lot of rage, right? Trust me, I relate. So rage is something that often comes up because we've really just been like stuffing down a lot of our anger. And it just hasn't really had anywhere to go. So we just kind of like put it in a little box. But every time we get angry, we just shove more and more into that box, right? Now, that box only has so much space. So, you know that saying, it's the last straw. So it's kind of like that moment where just like one more thing makes you angry, but now all of a sudden that box can no longer be contained. The lid is open and all of that anger starts to rush out, right? And I think when people talk about rage, it becomes this moment of feeling like a complete loss of control. It's almost like we don't choose to let the box open. It just overflows. And now we've said things that we regret. We've done things that we regret. We might hurt ourselves or other people. And there's often like a lot of shame that comes after that. And that just goes into the shame box too. And so what I like to do with this practice is to give our anger and our rage like some space to just come up and out. Because again, we're just storing it. So if we can just take off some off the top, then it means that we're less likely to have that explosive moment of rage. And so the way that this technique works is instead of like talking about our rage, trying to like come up with reasons not to be angry, it is just giving ourselves this full permission to feel it. So our emotions want to be felt, right? I think we hear this all the time, like you have to feel your feelings. But I think a lot of us are really actually afraid to feel anger. And so this is a practice that allows you to give yourself a little bit of permission to just feel anger so that it can be processed, right? We got to go through the feeling. We can't just hop over it and shove it in the back, okay? So we are going to get ready to get started. So what I want to recommend is you can either lay down and sit on your bed. Actually, yeah, let's sit for this practice. So if you want to sit on your bed, grab a comfy pillow like I have today, pop a squat on the floor. You can even do this in the car. So we are going to be making some noise today. So you may want to make sure that you're in a space where you feel comfortable to scream and make some crazy sounds with me. So once you get comfortable, then we can move on and get started together. All right, so the way that this is going to work is we're going to do 3 rounds of breath. Now, kind of show you what each round is. So we're going to do a special kind of breathing with our throat primarily. And then what we will do is we're going to move into a cycle of screaming. So it's doing the breath work, then a scream. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come back and we're going to recenter ourselves. We're going to go back into the breath, the scream, come back and center. We're going to do the breath, the scream, come back and center. And then at the very end, what we're going to do is we're just going to call in some extra support to help us feel like after this exercise, we can still go back to our life, we can go back to work, take care of the kids, go grocery shopping, whatever it is that we need to do, okay? So, lastly, I'm also going to need you to go grab a pillow. All right, so make sure you have a pillow handy. If you need to pause and go grab one, please go ahead. But this is the pillow I always use for this. So yeah, awesome. Well, let's go ahead and get started. So the first breath is going to be almost like this hyperventilating, right? We go that hyperventilating. You can even see my throat muscles moving. So we're actually going to try to pull our breath not from our mouth, but from right here in the center of our throat, okay? So it's going to sound like, right? So I'll show you again. It's going to go. Now, when we get into the breath itself, we're going to do a lot of, we're going to be really big, really keeping our mouth open, just, now I know it sounds really scary, but we're going to do that 8 times together, okay? So 8 times, and then after the 8th inhale, so we're going to grab our pillow and scream. Now, with the scream, I want you to scream until there's literally no air left. You should feel your belly button pulling into your spine. Literally no air is left. You should be like at the end, okay? Now, warning, tears might come, snot might come, body shaking might come. That is completely fine, right? Please, like, it is your body allowing it to just come up. So let's just create some space to allow for that today, okay? Now, once we've done our scream, then I'm just going to encourage like some movement. So usually our body is feeling kind of funny. So if we need to like roll our shoulders, if we just kind of need to sway, if we're just hugging our pillow, just whatever our body needs, we'll take a moment together for that. And then we're going to come back into our grounding breath. So, we can come here, we can have a hand on heart, hand on chest. And we just want to come back into our breath. And I even know some pulling from my chest. So we're going to, when we do our breath, we're going to try to pull from our stomach first. So until we feel our heart rate kind of come back down, then we'll go into the next cycle. All right. So if you're ready, we got our pillow. And we're just going to tap in together for just a moment. So let's just go ahead and take 3 really nice intentional breaths, pulling into the belly first. So pull into the belly, the chest, the throat, and release from the belly. Bringing that belly button to our spine. Going for another one. So an inhale. Soft exhale. All right, one more before we go into our breath. Now we're going to get ready to pull from our throat. Are you ready? Nice and fast with me. After our scream, just taking a deep breath, letting tears come, just listening to our body. Let it just intuitively move here for a minute. So today, just rocking back and forth is feeling really good. Well, now I actually want to go in circles. We're just going to come in circles here for a moment. Just let your body move. So you might feel some tingling, some dizziness. It's okay. Just letting the body process a little. Okay. Nice. Okay. All right. So we're going to just come back and do 3 of those really nice intentional breaths together. And then after that 3rd exhale, then we're going to go right back into breathing. Okay. So let's go ahead and start together, pulling from the belly first. We're going to do a nice deep inhale. And a gentle exhale. We're going to pull our belly button to our spine. Another inhale. And another exhale. Last one. Nice inhale. And an exhale. Getting ready for this next inhale, we go right back into our breath. So together now. A little scream. See, I didn't think I was upset, but I'm feeling stuff coming up and out today. Now as I feel more, I notice my body really just kind of wants to like shake some of it out. So just listening to the body, it's gonna ask for whatever it wants. So I like to just practice alone. Nobody can see us. We can just move and just be carefree for a moment, just letting our body really do what it needs to do. No audience. All right. So we are going to get ready to just settle back in. We're going to take 3 nice breaths together. So again, breathing in through the belly, filling up through the stomach, the chest first, and a nice exhale, bringing the belly button to the spine, getting rid of all of the air. And another inhale, breathing into the belly, chest, and a nice gentle exhale, bringing our belly button back to our spine. And then we'll do one more before we go back into our breath. So inhale, exhale, and then we'll go right back into the breath. Ready? Again, just if tears need to fall, let them fall. If your body is shaking, if you need to come into a ball, it's totally okay. Just let your body do what it needs to do in this moment. Shake it out if you need. There we go. Very nice. You did great. You did great. Now as we come and settle down, just allow the breath just slow down again. Having longer inhales, longer exhales. Now, doing this breath again, it brings up so much energy up and out of the body. And it can feel like a lot. Anger can be really overwhelming to our system. What we did just now is just really give it space, again, to just really come up and out. But I know some of us need to get back to our day. And so what we're going to do next is call in some fresh energy to take up that space that anger has now left for us, okay? So we're just going to come back into our nice deep belly breaths together. And if you need to pause and take a little bit more time, that's okay. But we're going to go ahead and get started. So again, we're taking a nice big inhale through the belly, the chest, and a nice gentle exhale, bringing our belly button into our spine till there's no air left. Going back in for that inhale. And a nice exhale. And again. Now on this next breath, as you breathe out, I want you to just gently close your eyes. Just noticing our breath for a second, we can release some control. Now I'll explain what we'll do and we'll go into it. So we're going to take a nice inhale and hold at the top. As we hold, we're going to imagine beautiful, warm, white light dropping in from the sky above, right into the center of the top of our head here. And as we keep holding, that light is going to enter through the head and it's going to just travel down the body. And it's going to find itself right here. And it's going to begin swirling right here in front of our belly. And again, we're doing all this while we hold. And we can no longer hold anymore. We're going to take an exhale and envision all that white light filling through our body, creating like a shimmer almost. Then we'll do that again, same thing, bringing in that light as we hold, building it here. And as we breathe out, we're going to build some protection around us, almost like a bubble. And then on the third breath, we'll do that again. And what we're going to do is just reinforce that bubble. And what we're really doing is calling in energy, positive, warm, light energy into our body to go ahead and fill that space where the anger was, okay? Beautiful. So we'll go ahead and get started. So I'm going to have you do a nice deep inhale. Hold at the top as that beautiful warm light drops in through the top of your head. Bring it all the way down. It begins swirling right in front of our womb space. Beautiful. Let it build, let it get brighter, let it get warmer. And when you can no longer hold anymore, you'll do a nice deep inhale, seeing that light spread to your fingertips, to the tips of your toes, warming you up from the inside, filling you with light. We'll go in again, so a nice inhale, holding at the top, bringing that beautiful light in, bringing it down, let it swirl at the bottom of our abdomen, right where the womb space would be. Letting that swirl around, building, building, building. When you can no longer hold your breath, again, taking a nice exhale, and now envision that light spreading out from your body, creating almost like a bubble all around you. Beautiful. Now we'll do that one more time. Nice inhale. Hold at the top, welcome in that beautiful white light. Let it build and let it swirl right under our belly button. Just let it build and build and build. Let it get stronger than it has so far. And when you can no longer hold your breath, a nice exhale, just imagining that light coming out from your body, reinforcing that bubble that we've already created around ourselves. Beautiful. Now, before we open our eyes, I want you to take one of your hands and place it on your chest and the other on your belly. Noticing your breath again. And I want you to come up with one mantra to say to yourself, one affirmation. Mine today is, I have enough energy to get through this day and will be filled with joy. Beautiful. Now you can come back to this anytime you need it. It's super helpful. You can even do it without this video if you know, like, oh, I'm just feeling all this anger and it needs to go somewhere. Go find your time. Go grab your pillow. Let the anger come up and out. Anger is not a bad thing. But you'll notice when you actually have that space to let it come up and out, then you can actually start thinking, what am I going to do with all this anger? When we have a chance to let some of it just come up and out off the top. So again, come back and visit this anytime that you need. I will be having some more videos of different breath work and different techniques I use with my clients coming soon. So tune in next time. Thanks so much for being here. Have a blessed day.